Hi there, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. My name is Melanie and I have been working this year so far in going through all my cardstock collections, you name it, and try and consolidate into a way that makes a little bit more sense. So for today, I have in front of me all of my Felicity Jane collections, so items that I have kept as a collection. Now I do have Felicity Jane product separated out. Let me just go and grab that. So I have a bin here, and in this bin I have a lot of Felicity Jane die cuts that I have sorted by color. It just makes sense for that manufacturer because they have a very distinct color palette that they use over and over again. So why did I not break up all the collections? I don't know. But that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take all the cardstock and amalgamate it into one grouping, and then all the embellishments and stuff like that are going to get dispersed. Now, am I going to keep them all in bags as opposed to doing a book, like a die cut sticker binder, that kind of thing? That could change, but for now what I want to do is actually just deal with the cardstock. Okay, so the first bag that I opened had, I think this was a June collection, but to be honest, you guys, I'm looking at the embellishments and it looks like it's a hodgepodge of all sorts of things. So, like I said, I'm going to deal with the embellishments at a later date. Today we're just going to work on the paper. So I am just going to do a quick kind of shuffle for these and put these off to the side, and we'll deal with them at another point in time. So I have used this collection. I do like the covers that they put with the collections. I have used these before in the past, so I treat that like a scrap. I have a bunch of scraps here, so I am actually going to throw these all in my scrap bin, and we'll deal with them when I'm ready to deal with my scraps. And that doesn't leave too much left. I also had a Project Life card. I do have a section of Felicity Jane Project Life cards. That's where that will go. And so then the only thing I have left is, unfortunately, a piece of paper that has gotten a little bit dog-eared. It is actually from the Amber collection, and it's a black and white stripe or this pretty aqua color. So I'm just going to put the cardstock to the side for now, and then we'll come back and deal with it as a whole. For the second bag, looks like I combined a few different packages because they have a similar color scheme. There's Harper, Madison, Amanda, I think those are the big ones, and maybe Taylor. So if you look, you'll see the colors are very similar across both collections, which is why I probably put them together. So these are going to go in my scrap bin, and let's take a look at the cardstock. So this is from the Taylor collection. It's a really pretty floral, a black and white stripe. Also from Taylor, plaid, and a small floral. And as I'm going through this, I'm going to keep the side that I prefer up. Doesn't mean I don't like the other sides, but in this case, for instance, these are both just black and white, nothing special. I'd much prefer the other side for them. We have a Swiss dot in that like olive green, I guess, or avocado kind of green, and then a diamond pattern. Got signature Felicity Jane pink in a diagonal stripe versus a dotted stripe. Again, these are all from Taylor. This is a multi-sized dot, which is kind of cool, in the almost mustard yellow, and then the other side is a broken dashed stripe. This is a pretty color, and it is a tone-on-tone floral, and on the other side is a gingham. They're also known for their solid cardstocks, except they're double-sided. So I will pick whatever side, again, that I am drawn to more on the front. Okay, looks like we've switched collections here. This is Harper. Not a pretty background. This is a splotchy dot, imperfect dot, and then this has got apples, and then a hand-drawn wood grain versus a grid. And this is also like a plaid type, and then a check. I guess they call that linen. Got some hearts, and the other side is that gold, yellow, a stripe, and a pretty floral. There's the collections page, and then we get the solids. Looks like I got a couple of this collection. I used to subscribe to Felicity Jane, and then I decided that they were building up too much, so I stopped subscribing, and now I just purchase things periodically. Okay, the next bag has Rebecca in here. Again, I'm going to add this to my scraps, and got this really pretty floral, and the back side is a diagonal grid, I guess, with pluses and minuses, or yeah, pluses and minuses. Got a wood grain, and the other side is this wonky plaid, I guess. Oh, they call it a chevron. There's that signature pink. The other side is a black and white floral. This is just a shade darker of that signature pink. It's a scallop, and then the other side is a multicolor. We've got a leopard print, which I don't think I've ever seen them go in this route before. That's kind of interesting. Not that I'm an expert or anything. And then a stripe, a multicolored stripe. Got a floral, a very structured floral, but whimsical, I guess. It's very linear, but the flower is a little bit more whimsical. And then the other side are teeny tiny plus signs. I don't even know if you could see how tiny they are. We've got the solid papers, and that is it for this one. I have in this bag Madison, and it looks like I had the collection twice. So pretty. That is one thing Felicity Jane does, is their florals are so pretty. The gingham. It's kind of like a hash mark stripe. It's a pretty color. Spots, and then diagonal. We've got stripes and little leaves. Another wood grain, although I don't know that I like this wood grain as much as the last one. This one is a little blown out. The other side are these really cute hearts, so I think I'm going to keep it on that side. A small floral, and then a checker. They call it window pane. And then we've got the solid cardstock. Again, like I said, I've got two of these. So I will probably keep one side turned one way and the other if I see the full range. This is easy because I know I'm probably not going to purge any of this. Okay, moving on to Hannah, which has a very, very different feel to most of the other collections. Very cartoonish in its artwork, but still pretty. And I got a little bit of it dog-eared on this one too. It's from being in that bag. It's a pretty like aqua color. This wood grain's nice. Scallop on the back side. Multicolored scallop. Oh, that's pretty too. Don't you hate it when they have two patterns that you really like? How do you decide? Guess you just have to go with it. Pink diagonal, and then that kind of grid, only this one's smaller than the last collection. We've got like a chevron dot pattern. They call it arrows. And then the other side is words. I don't think I've ever seen them do something like this either, with a big graphic. Interesting. Moving on to Murray. Has this big, bold pink floral and a really big check or window pane. Another wood grain. Ooh. I like the stripe. Candy apple green, or what do they call it? Kelly green, I think. Dot. And then a stripe. That's a tough one too. It's a very big gingham. This is very definitely an oversized collection. And then the other side is are these butterflies, which are really pretty too. There's that random dot, size dot pattern in the pink, and then hearts, a small floral, and a chevron. Then we get the solids. And I got a second sheet of this. I must have gotten it in a grab bag or something. Or maybe I had two of the kits. Well, that's good because then I didn't have to choose between the wood grain and the other side. Always helpful. Okay, we're looking at the Henley collection. Spots, and it says sketch. Got retro and dots. And a gingham. And small hearts. Scallop. And leaves. Beautiful floral. On the other side is a very bold chevron. And then we get the solids. Fountain and dotty stripe. Well, this is interesting. I have 3 of the Sarah collection. Now, like I said, I usually buy them when they're on sale, that kind of thing, so it doesn't surprise me if I got like a grab box or something like that. I'm actually not mad about it because it does have a lot of blue in here, which Felicity Jane doesn't really do a lot of that, so that is kind of fun. And of course it's got a pretty floral. So let me break this apart and we'll go through the collections at least once, through one of them anyways. Okay, so we have the pretty floral, and the back side is an aqua dot. This is really pretty too. They call it tiles. It's kind of got like a wallpaper look, I guess. And the other side is a random dot. You get a little trippy looking at this. A blue gingham, and the other side are our little bows, confetti in all the patterns, and then a diagonal stripe, an aqua stripe, and words that, oh, that's trippy too. I'm like, oh, I'm holding it upside down because some of these words are upside down, but they go both directions, so it's one way or a couple one way, and then it flips it over. So it says things like good times, memories, happy, sunshine, over and over. I really like this piece of paper. I love the floral on here, and I think it's also the blue that really speaks to me. So they call this one foliage, and then the other side is a scallop in black and white. And then we have the colored cardstock in the yellow and the pink, the blue, and the aqua. Well, this is interesting. So this is Autumn collection, and I found a stamp set in here. I didn't even know there was a stamp set in here, and the stamp was outside of the package, which is very strange. So I'm gonna have to inventory this and put it where it needs to go, so you know I actually have a remote chance of using it. Okay, we've got a floral on this really, like, I don't know, what is this color, like citron yellow or citron green, I guess. And then the back side is a pin stripe in that same color. We've got a very small dot in that coral color, and then the leaves, a plaid, and then a geometric that almost looks like a chain fence, a stripe, and a stripe, and then herringbone. And this looks like a piece of fabric almost. This one's called Sketch, and it's just like sketchy lines back and forth in that coral color, and then the other side are pluses, tiny floral, and then a grid. Solids come in that mustard yellow, and then that coral, and then almost an orange, and a light pink. One more bag to go through. Okay, I think this last bag is a bit of a hodgepodge again. I combined them because of similar color schemes, but really, like I said, Felicity Jane tends to have that. So I've got Capri, Tori, Millie, and Gabby. It looks like I may have two of Gabby. From Gabby, this really pretty floral. The other side is this like little half circle? I don't even know what do they call it? Arches, okay. Arches. Also from Gabby, the wonky grid and wood grain. A tiny floral. And they call it ticking. Stripes and pears. Still from Gabby, Swiss dots and a stripe. Gingham. This is a bit of a different color. I don't know. It's almost a green, an olive green. And then on the other side is a bold stripe. So I bet you it's this color here, which is definitely an olive green. And then we've got the solids. There's that green again. I love this color. And then it looks like we've got a repeat. And then we've got Capri in this stripe. And then these are just triangles. A floral. Again, also from Capri. And again, it's like a diamond pattern, but like with dots. Hearts. And a very big chevron. The solid in that light pink or this, you know, pretty bright yellow. And then we've got the aqua color or blue. That seems strange. This is not the right blue for this, so that must be from something else. We've got Millie, we've got the stripe. On the other side are stars in a linear pattern. We've got like an aqua, a darker one, or maybe this is more sage green. I think this is more like a sage green. There's that corally color, I guess, and pink. I wonder where this is from. Let's see. From Millie, a floral. The other side is a starburst pattern. Millie, again, with pinstripes in that, I don't know, what is that color? It's not a red, it's not a pink, it's somewhere in between. And then this broken stripe pattern. It looks like that sage green in a plaid or tiny hearts. A bold stripe in a yellow versus a swirly pattern. Here's tone-on-tone dots. This is a repeat. And then we've got some more of Taylor, which is interesting because I showed you Taylor earlier, so I didn't even realize these were in here. Plaid and small floral. And that green paper again. Okay, so let me put all this paper together, sort through it, and I'll come show you how, or I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it. So I set this up in 4 sections. The first are the multicolored, or in my normal stash I would call them kit starters. I did keep these by collections, so I put them in alphabetical order, so you would see Autumn, Capri, Gabby, Harper, etc. So those are all the multicolored. And then the next section would be the colored section. Okay, and then the third section would be the solid cardstock. And then the last section would be backgrounds. So like I've got this ruled paper, this ombre, and then a bunch of wood grain. Now because my room is in a state of flux, for lack of a better term, I am going to stick these in a bin. It's probably not where the final resting place is going to be, but the point is that all the cardstock that I have for Felicity Jane is together. I am probably going to do this with some of the other collections I have, namely things from Paige Evans or Maggie Holmes, where their look is very distinct, and so their collections kind of can cross over with each other. At least that's what I'm thinking. So I will probably do something similar to those as well. So if you're interested in seeing that, be sure to subscribe. I don't know when it's going to come up, but if you're subscribed and click the notification bell, you'll see when it is posted. So that is the cardstock. Let's talk about embellishments here really quickly before I sign off. It's amazing how much those bags held, because I have, oh, and that's not all of it. I have all of this to go through. It's a lot, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. And so what I probably will do is, like I indicated at the beginning, die cuts will probably just get put into those bags sorted by color, and things like alphas, of course, I will put in my regular alpha stash. Anything that's bulky, like stuff like this, if I have space already allocated like I do for buttons, that's where that's gonna go. But I may change my mind by the time I get around to this video. So again, if you're interested, be sure to subscribe, because I will share what I do with this, because that's the way I roll. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it, and I hope that this is inspiring you to not give up on your space, especially if it's something that you are finding overwhelming. Just take a little bit at a time, step by step. You will get through it, and let me know below what it is you're working on. And until next time, happy organizing.